Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and it's time for another breakfast with Blaha. And today I'm having a Greek yogurt almond butter frozen blueberries. Alright, that's good. And I had someone in my comments the other day say they don't like almond butter. It's almond butter and Greek yogurt is nasty. Like, you got terrible taste then, brother. It's amazing. Over to the point, though. I also had someone ask me, and I had multiple people chime in the comments and say, hey, I want to know why. They're like, why don't you recommend push-pull? Right? And I actually, at one time I did many, many years ago, if you guys recall, I had actually said, well, to me it makes more sense to do a push-pull instead of an upper-lower. And I've retracted that because it's wrong. And I do upper lowers, and then again, someone had said in there, well, yeah, I mean, I get it. That seems like it's powerlifting related, for powerlifting purposes, but what about just for general strength and hypertrophy? What's wrong with a push-pull? And I want people to think about this. Normally, if we're going to do a 4-day programming, and a lot of times when people do 6-day, and I'm not a fan of 6-day lifting, I don't recommend you do a 6-day upper lower or even a 6-day push-pull legs. But oftentimes the idea there is to hit each body part twice a week. Right? We know weekly training volume itself is very important. We know that there seems to be minimal volumes in a training session sometimes to stimulate good growth. We know there's upper thresholds of volume per training session that cause good growth. At a certain point, you start to regress and decline. And they're still making gains, by the way. It's not just diminished returns, it's actually diminished gains completely. So people will come in and they'll say, well, I want to do everything twice a week. And that's oftentimes why we run a 4-day double split, right, of some type, like upper lower. Well, when it's upper lower, it makes sense. We can largely do that, right? Of course, other than a few muscles, things like traps and stuff, some parts of the erectors, upper back and things, they might get hit all 4 days on an upper lower. Is that really a problem, though? All right, it's not really a problem. Do you know why? Traps are only being used isometrically on the lower days. They're probably getting it dynamically one of the days. They're being trained isometrically the other. Quite a bit of difference there. Significant difference in the type of training. And there tends to be very, very little interference. Well, what do I mean by isometrically? Deadlifts, they work traps isometrically. Some of your good mornings and things. Squats, they all are isometric contractions of your trapezius, right? Different parts of the traps. Whereas it's being dynamically worked on rows, overhead presses, high pulls, pull-ups, chin-ups, right? All those things. Outside of that, everything's only being hit twice. You don't have a lot of overlap. Again, same thing, lats being used isometrically on deadlifts. All upper body muscles, right? Not that big in the grand scheme of things. And again, keeping in mind, we're comparing dynamic versus isometric. Quite a bit of different training response, different stimulus. Here's a problem: we go to lower body. Everything's being worked twice a week if we do lower body, right? What do we mean? Okay. Squats, squat variations, single leg exercises. I count all those as squats. A split squat's still a squat. Could be the leg presses, belt squats, back squats, front squats, box squats, squats, right? What gets worked? Some back, a lot of low back actually. Let's see where we're going with this. Notice I just said low back on the squatting. Glutes. Glutes is a big one. Adductors, quads, right? Very little hamstring. Actually, not enough hamstring to cause significant growth. All the pulling, the hip hinging, what are we working? We are working some quad, enough to get a growth response on some of them. Romanian deadlifts, conventional deadlifts, sumo deadlifts, they'll all grow your quads if that's all you're doing. It's enough to cause growth. It may not be optimal, but it'll cause growth. Being hit hard. Glutes, erectors, hamstrings, adductors. Hey, people to stop and think about that. It's the same muscles. If you're doing a push-pull, hey, all your upper body stuff, it's great. It's each getting hit once. Well, other than your delts. Delts are getting hit on both days. Is it going to be enough that there could be some soreness and it's going to impact the next? In other words, I don't know, do you need to do a push first or do you need to do a pull first? How much is one going to impact the other? If you do too much pulling the day before, delts might be a little fatigued for your pressing. Probably get away with it better the other way. But what about the lower body? Every muscle's being hit 4 days a week. Why? On the push day, all the squatting, and then the pulling days being hip hinges, what's happening? The only muscles that are being worked at a different rate are the quads and hamstrings, right? The push day, more quad, a lot more quad, less hamstring. The pull day, what are we hitting? A lot more hamstring, quite a bit less quad, but they're both being worked. What's being hit all of those days? Glutes, adductors, spinal erectors. And the erectors are being worked hard. The glutes are being worked really hard. Almost every single one of these lower body exercises use a ton of glute. A lot of them use adductor. So on the pull days, you're doing Romanian deadlifts and sumo deadlifts. Those are very adductor heavy exercises. It's one thing to do it intra-session and build up through. It's another thing to train the same muscles the very next day, 2 days in a row with all-out effort. Particularly if they're in the healing process, a lot of fatigue accrued that you're recovering from, the performance is going to be interfered with. Training stimulus is going to be interfered with. Your lower back never gets a day off, by the way. Your lower back is walking in fatigued into every workout. Everything is not being hit twice a week. Half of the muscles of the lower body are getting direct growth stimulus with significant fatigue all 4 days. All right? The push-pull makes sense on the upper body. The lower body does not work that day, particularly because both the pushing and the pulling hammers the glutes, the low back, the adductors. Only real difference is the front and back of the thigh. That's the only things being hit at different ratios. It's not really a two a week split when you do that. If you do upper lower, it is. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.